So do the best we can. I know I've always had troubles with this particular map, because no matter where you go in here, they have easy access to you. It gets even worse a little bit later because we'll have to actually change gondolas. Where is the... Oh, I hear objective updated. Okay, once we get past there, I just gotta be on the lookout for them. There's one. Go. Keep an eagle eye out for them. Because you let more than one, two or more of them really get in close, and you're really screwed. Guess I should do an F6 again. It's also, the other thing is just keep saves coming. Because this is one of those missions where you really do need the save scum as much as possible, even if you don't particularly like it. Okay. We got them to move away at least a little bit. Down them though. Go. Alright, another F6 here, even though there's one coming in. From somewhere, there it is. One's down. Quick saving as often as possible. We don't get any ammo updates here either. I don't think we get any ammo updates until we actually down to the part where we have to switch tracks here. Okay. We have a whole lot of bullets left. Make every shot count. Is we're coming up to the transition point down there. It might be. The other thing about this is it's a long like mission where you're just stuck in one spot. So it kind of forces you to save scum a little bit. That's how I justify it anyway. Also, don't walk out of the gondola. I've made that mistake far too many times. Far too many times I played this mission and ended up walking right out of there. And he exploded.
God. Do you think Agent Archer is okay?
Explosive gas.
How are we going to explain this to command?
That's why she said, "Gotta get out of here because there's going to be a very large explosion." He was the top name on the list. Right. How do I forget how to get out of here. Wait a minute. Let's do an F6. I forget how to do this. There's a thing right somewhere. Yeah, I gotta jump over. Oh, there it is. It's right from my face, as it tends to be. I gotta angle it this way. There it is.
You have proved to be an interesting
and here's our
Miss Archer. I've never had
here's
the
our boss
chance to
battle.
compete with a woman in a professional capacity. The experience has been an amusing one.
Good. Then you can go to your grave happy.
Perhaps. But I deem your mortality a far more immediate concern. Hand over the list, and I will kill you swiftly.
How generous of you.
I am not a man to trifle with. I've been
Not a
perfecting
man to
methods of
trifle with.
torture since before you were born. It would grieve me to have to demonstrate my skills on such a lovely creature as yourself.
Are you threatening me or attempting to seduce me?
I try never to get involved with women who want to kill me.
Wise policy.
Live and learn.
Well, you'll not get this list in any case.
That is where you are mistaken.
And here comes the worst boss battle. The worst in that it's very difficult. Because he can get the drop on us from no matter where we're at. And also, I don't have any... Oh, that's right, I forgot. I don't have any weapons. I have to go... They only give me the one... They only give me the one weapon, and I can't get over to it right away. So bringing that... bringing those... That other thing was not worth the time or effort. Forget how to get up there now. See, like I mean, he's just standing over there, just taking pot shots at me because I can't get up on this thing. How do I get onto this damn thing here? Forget how to do this now. Going down there is not the right way to do it. There's I forget how to do this. This always gets me every freaking time. There it is. Okay. Over to this and our gun. Go. I got my armor on again. And I think he's a multi-phase enemy, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think this is not the only health bar he gets. Since he's the biggest bad we'll come up against. We will go up against the Baroness, but not in the same fashion. In fact, she's in the next mission here. And her mission's a really crazy one for a different reason. as you'll see. There he is. I guess he was just a one.
Goodbye, Dimitri.
A one-time thing. Cool. I don't think I've ever defeated Volkov the first time around. I've always died in that cave because he has such a drop on you when you first end up in there.
You've escaped with the list. The Baroness has escaped, but it's only a matter of time before she's brought to justice. Volkov and Baron Dumas are dead. Meanwhile, Armstrong has vanished, but it seems unlikely that you have anything to fear from him. All that is left is to report the good news to command.
Such is the nature of revenge. Not quite there yet, though. Find your way back to the upper landing and report to Unity headquarters. Yep. So, all we got on this one is fuzzy slippers. We don't have any, there's no weapons in this one. And you'll see why. It's another boss battle, but it's a crazy take on a boss battle.
Mr. Jones, please.
Whom may I say is calling?
Kate Archer.
One moment.
Archer, you're alive?
I suppose I am.
There was a report that you'd been killed in an explosion.
Oh, that. No, I survived.
Did you get the list?
I expect a telegram within the hour.
This is excellent news. Are you all right?
I'm fine. Maybe a wee bit tired. Nothing a nap and a sip of scotch won't clear up.
Well, let me know the moment you arrive.
Okay, see you soon.
She's got the list.
Unbelievable.
Miss Kavanaugh, please alert cryptography that Agent Archer will be sending an encoded message within the hour. This is top priority.
Don't congratulate yourself yet, Ms. Archer. You've won nothing.
Yes, well, you've lost everything. Again.
Not true, Agent Archer. I still have the satisfaction of knowing that you have failed.
But I haven't. We have Dr. Schenker, we have the antidote, and most importantly, we have the names of your intended victims.
You still have to deliver the list.
Which I shall, just as I shall deliver you to prison where you can accustom yourself to a slightly less opulent lifestyle.
Ah, what a sweet fantasy.
This
But it's not
mission
meant to be, I'm afraid.
I never do the first time
Know this, little
because
girl.
it's hard.
Harm
There's a certain
does
pattern
not die with me.
that you have to do.
I think you'll survive your wounds.
It's not my wounds you should be worried about. Pardon me.
I've got to get everybody off the streets.
Yep. She's infected. So we gotta go and tell all these people to just
Inside, hurry! Get off the
GTFO.
streets!
And I need to... I don't remember where everybody's at. You.
Get inside, now!
Inside. You. Oh. They managed to shoot the civvies. This is why I never get this mission done the first time. Never do it. Okay. And we only have a minute and a half to do it.
Inside, hurry! Get off the streets!
Do 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 do.
Get inside, now! Get inside!
Okay. You
Get off
inside.
the streets!
Basically, I gotta tell all these people to get off the streets, and then I gotta get off the streets. So there is a. That's not the way to go. There is a pub back there that I actually end up going inside. Back here is somebody, I think. A couple people, right? No, this is where we came from. Crap. Who did I miss? Did I miss somebody? I missed somebody, right? I don't think... Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't miss anybody. Let's get in here. Nope. No, I definitely missed somebody because it would have triggered the you've won thing. Okay, is there somebody? This is why I never do this the first time. Never get it done the first time. Never do. I didn't get everybody. So the thing is, and you're probably wondering, why do you have to get everybody off the street? And it's because, as they've been saying, the bomb the biological bomb that she infected herself with, the explosion is the size of however many people are around it, which is why she's telling everybody to get off the streets so that they're far enough away from it that it doesn't make the bomb bigger. You know, it'll just kill the Baroness and not the entire town. We now know where we gotta go.
Inside, hurry.
You inside. 1,
Get off the street.
2. And I gotta come back this way. Because there's only 2 there. And there's 3 here.
Get
1,
inside now.
2.
Get inside.
3.
Get off the streets.
Alright. And then we do get up in here. Only the one side works. There's 1.
Hurry. Get inside.
2.
Get inside.
3.
Get off the streets.
Is there another one up here? I don't think so. 3. There. Then around here, I remember going this way.
Get inside now.
This guy's got to go in there. Alright, and then there's 2 more here.
Clear the street.
There we go. Got him that time. It's that one door there that always gets me because only the one side opens. I'm like, I know this door. I know there was a bigger map here than what I was seeing.
Creature.
But the one door is the only one that opens, and it's like, oh, that's what was going on.
Ah, Miss Archer. I trust you're recuperating suitably?
Quite so, Mr. Jones. Thank you for the champagne.
It's a tradition I began back in the war, to reward my boys for a mission well done. It pays to have friends in the supply department.
So, does that mean I'm one of the boys?
I suppose it does. Figuratively speaking, of course.
Of course.
Miss Archer, I realize I have been somewhat abrasive during this ordeal.
Somewhat.
You've been a belligerent oaf.
I hope you can understand that I take our collective purpose very seriously. Although I was highly skeptical of a woman's ability to handle this mission, I am overjoyed to have been proved wrong. You have gone above and beyond the call of duty in this matter, for which we are all indebted to you.
I wish we could offer you a proper vacation, but until Unity is full strength again, I'm afraid we can't afford to let you rest.
Thank you, sir, but I've waited a long time for a chance like this. I wouldn't dream of going on vacation now.
That's the spirit. Well, I'm going to go home and see if my wife remembers me. See you both tomorrow.
I'd best be going too. I haven't bathed in 3 days. I imagine I'm a bit ripe.
Is this how it ends, then?
How what ends?
Saving the world. That's what we did, right?
Yes, that is what we did.
Is it always like this? Weary farewells and shuffling off home for a hot bath and a good night's sleep?
A good night's sleep if you're lucky.
Yes, Agent Archer. It is always like this. Saving the world is our job, you see. If we do it properly, nobody even knows the world is in jeopardy to begin with. Not a lot of fanfare, I suppose. Just the satisfaction of a job well done.
An important job.
I like to think so. Good night, Agent Archer. Good night, Mr. Smith.
Good night.
And if you thought to yourself, boss battles were kind of anticlimactic, well, we got one more act right here.
You were right. Last night I slept peacefully for the first time since my father died.
How touching.
Tom?
You owe me more than you can imagine, Ms. Archer.
I thought you...
You have no idea what I put myself through, and I'm not gonna get a dime for it thanks to you.
You're the traitor.
Hey, I'm not proud of what I did, but I was gonna get a handsome paycheck as compensation. A very handsome paycheck. Unfortunately, you had to go and blow up my benefactor.
Money? You betrayed the entire free world for money?
Ah, spare me the self-righteousness. Everybody has a price. Even you.
You don't know anything about me.
Maybe not, but I've been in this business long enough to see what people are capable of. Anybody can talk about honor and patriotism, but those are just pretty words. When the money's on the table, the right amount of money, you'd be surprised how quickly you can change your tune.
Do you honestly believe that?
Curse your sudden yet inevitable betrayal.
It's just some ordinary Joe who's willing to risk his life to sell out his country for a few measly bucks. We rely on these people. That's where most of our information comes from. The difference between them and us, other than our training as operatives, of course, is a price tag. Mine just happened to be about 100 times as much money. And now I get nothing thanks to you.
You're forgetting something, Tom. Those spies we recruit aren't patriots. They're cowards. We seek out selfish, hateful little people who place themselves above everyone else. We choose them because they're weak and greedy and arrogant. Like you.
Touché.
Don't you understand what you did? People died because of you. Bruno died because of you.
Hey, Volkov killed him, not me. All I did was supply some information. I'm not responsible for how that information was used.
We'll see what the court thinks about that.
I didn't come here to surrender.
Pity for you.
And boss battle. And this guy is a pain in the butt too. That was a antitoxin I picked up. I should have just... There's also, I love that there's also collectibles while you're being shot at. All these collectibles around here. There's the T-180 device. You want to play Ring Around the Rosie, Tom? We can play Ring Around the Rosie here. Although he's throwing grenades a lot. And he's got these damn poison bullets. That's what you're seeing there. Alright, come on. There we go.
Drop your gun.
Or what? Are you gonna shoot me in cold blood?
If I have to.
That's mighty tough talk for a little girl.
Into the grave with you.
Mr. Smith, what are you doing here?
Tending to some unfinished business.
Mr. Jones?
Are you all right, Miss Archer?
Aye. What's going on?
Twists. Twisted pawn
There's your
twists.
traitor.
You mean Smithy?
How long have you known?
I've suspected you for some time. You've only just now confirmed my suspicions.
All this time you thought he might be a traitor?
Indeed, but I had to be sure.
You might have warned Bruno.
He did.
Bruno.
Look out!
I love the ending of this game because it's so bonkers. It's just the way that they would do a 60s spy ending. It's like all these
Everyone
twists, twist upon
Good
twist.
shooting, Archer.
But what about Tom?
Tom Goodman died in Amsterdam.
What? But I thought...
The man you knew as Tom Goodman was an imposter. His real name was Melvin Blitzney. He's a former vacuum cleaner salesman from Akron, Ohio.
I don't understand.
It's quite simple. 7 years ago, Mr. Jones took Smithy off the active list due to his increasingly inadequate performance in the field. Mandatory retirement came as a great blow. Smithy, like many operatives, thought of himself as a man of action. He viewed his reassignment into the role of an administrator as an insult to his virility. He kept his dissatisfaction to himself, secretly plotting to discredit Jones and, in the process, line his own pockets. To this end, he recruited Melvin Blitzney, who underwent plastic surgery, extensive training, and months of voice lessons in order to become Tom Goodman, for whom Smithy, meanwhile, laid a deadly trap in Amsterdam.
How did Smithy hook up with a vacuum cleaner salesman from Ohio?
Apparently, they met in a bar in Florida on one of Smithy's last assignments. Anyhow, with Goodman out of the way and no one any the wiser, Smithy launched the next phase of his scheme, which was to nurture a relationship with an up-and-coming terrorist organization. He chose harm. His plan was to create an international incident of staggering proportions and simultaneously cripple Unity so that we would have no choice but to capitulate. Such an unmitigated failure would force Mr. Jones to step down, giving Smithy control of Unity and also a handsome payoff in a secret bank account in Zurich.
But what about Morocco?
It was a trap meant to snare us both. Mr. Jones and I agreed that it would serve as a perfect opportunity for me to disappear for a while.
You might have warned me, you know.
We couldn't risk tipping our hand.
You mean you didn't think I could keep a secret?
Keeping a secret wasn't enough. Smithy had to believe I was dead, which meant that you had to believe it as well. I'm truly sorry, Kate.
Oh, you will be. But there are still some things I don't understand. Smithy was extremely forthcoming with information for someone who wanted us to fail.
Every mission he sent you on was a trap. Eventually it occurred to him that you were far more competent than he had anticipated, but it was already too late by then. You had outwitted him. Besides, if he'd attempted to conceal information, he would have drawn suspicion to himself, which he couldn't afford.
But why did Tom, or Melvin, whatever his name is, blow up the cargo freighter?
To get rid of you, of course.
But Inga Wagner and Magnus Armstrong were aboard the ship.
They were expendable.
If you knew all this, why didn't you just arrest Smithy and be done with it?
Because we didn't know all this until very recently. Your investigations revealed much of the information we needed. But the final piece of the puzzle fell into place yesterday afternoon, when I found this in Smithy's flat.
The puppet?
Indeed.
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry I had to deceive you, Kate.
Sorry's not good enough. Do you have any idea how devastated I was?
I should leave you two alone. I'm sure you've plenty of catching up to do.
I've dropped a bomb in this situation. I'm going to leave now.
What do you mean?
Well, I was watching when you came to pay your respects.
You were spying on me?
Not intentionally.
I ought to kill you myself. Who's buried here anyway?
No one. It's an empty casket.
An empty casket?
Calm down.
Don't run away from me. Come back and take what's coming to you.
Kate, please. You're overreacting.
I'll show you overreacting, you bastard.
And that, my friends, has been No One Lives Forever. I love this game. I love the as much as as frustrating as it can be at times. I love the game. It's they spend quite a bit of time on story. Like they didn't quite spread the story out enough. So there's a couple points when it's like we're gonna dump a ton of story onto you, which can be a lot to take in. And it can be a little bit too. Sometimes it can be a little bit too boring. Like this is one of those games where they have some pretty long cutscenes. There's one like smack in the middle of the game where it's like, yeah, we're gonna info dump you now, and sometimes you're like, oh, okay, do I really need all this information? But it's I think that's just because they didn't have a good way. They didn't devise a good way to give you that information as you were going through the world. And I think that was kind of the missed opportunity here. Like they had all those like briefcases and things that you pick up, but they were all comedic relief mostly, right? They were not things that would give you more information about the actual story. And it's weird it never occurred to them to actually do that, because that would have paced out the game a little bit better, because you could have said, all right, here's some extra information here, and then you already have it, and then we don't have to rehash it in one long paragraph of reading, several paragraphs of reading. But then again, there's sides of the argument of you really want some of that information to be acted rather than just in optional things that people may not even look for. That said, mechanics are good in the game. The cameras are wildly inconsistent. Sometimes a camera will see you from halfway across the map, and sometimes you can walk pretty much right up to one, and they'll both look like they should see you, but they don't. So there's a lot of inconsistencies along that. The enemies are the same way. Sometimes they're the AI is a little bit random, where you can load a save game, shoot a guy, and then suddenly that sets off an alarm, whereas it didn't before. And it's a little bit, it can be frustrating in all the wrong ways. But if you this is one of the few games I would say you probably have a better time just playing it on easy mode, because it just gets, there's so many like bonkers areas, levels that you have to go through, and you do get tired after a while of going through yet another warehouse and all these boxes and all that stuff. There's a lot of reuse going on and that kind of thing, and they really did kind of miss a few things that, like, when you look at the we do get an afterwards here.
I'm afraid I have bad news.
I'm already aware of the situation, Dimitri. No matter, we'll just have to do better next time, won't we?
I told you about this guy, the drunk guy that shows up everywhere. He was the real leader of harm. Such is the nature of revenge. Still got amateur rank. And I got non-injury award issued by Unity Medical Division. There you go.